What's up, guys? It is the Bluebloods here, back with another episode, man. And we are joined by arguably the best freshman last year in the FCS, Jaylen Swain, defensive end slash linebacker for Jacksonville State. He was named a freshman All-American, first team All-OVC, and part of the OVC Newcomer of the Year team. I appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Yes, sir, no problem.
Man, so you are a star at Oxford High School, to say the least, man. One of the best players in the state of Alabama. Y'all went 14-1, a 10-3 mark. You were a class Region 6A Defensive Player of the Year, all county selection. What teams other than Jacksonville State were recruiting you the hardest out of high school?
I was really right now. I would just say Austin P because I committed there like going into my senior year, the spring. That was the first school that offered me. I committed to Austin P, so I was locked in with Austin P up until signing day, and I got the offer from Jacksonville State, knowing it was like 30 minutes from my high school, an hour away from home. So it was the best fit for me, and I felt so at the time. Jacksonville State really and Austin P. And I had a couple offers from Navy. I had an offer from Navy, Lamar, and a couple more schools, but I mean, I wasn't really too interested into them.
Right. And so I know taking visits is part of the big recruiting process. What were the biggest things you looked for in the schools that you visited? And like, what were some of the factors that kind of played into what you wanted to pay attention to the most?
Really, when I was going into schools or when I was looking at schools, I was just looking for the education part. I want to be a coach after all this is over, really. So that was my thing, looking for the best education fit for me with being a PE major. So I was just looking for like places like Jacksonville was really the best fit in the state of Alabama with for as well as field school education.
Oh, I like it, man. So, I was looking at your stats. Oxford is in Alabama. You got Auburn, Alabama. You got Troy. You got a lot of great schools right around that location.
Yeah.
And being such an accomplished high school player, I was like, man, like I feel like everybody in the country would want Jaylen Swain coming out of high school.
hmm
How much does it motivate you that some of those bigger teams might have overlooked you out of high school?
I get that a lot, but really knowing that people look for measurements and size, I really took my 5'9", 5'10" frame and whatever I just took and ran with whatever I had because it what God gave me. So I really didn't get too frustrated. I really took it in stride and put it on my shoulder and really not bragging, but you can tell like what I have done now, what we're finna do as a team. That I just took it and it was an accomplishment and a goal to achieve for me to prove them wrong that I could be one of the best.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I know a lot of teams in the country would like to have Jaylen Swain on their roster right now, especially after the performance last year. But
Yes,
other
sir.
than other than your major of physical education, what were the biggest factors in why you decided to commit to Jacksonville State?
Really, I know a lot of players that came up here like Rock Thomas and a lot of people from back home that transferred back in. And really, I knew Coach Ross. He was at Oxford. He coached Oxford a long time. And really, Coach Wilkerson, but he left and went to South Alabama. Well, he went somewhere else, Chattanooga before that. He was recruiting me pretty well, pretty hard. And I just like the atmosphere up here. Really grew up on this campus. Like when I was in high school, I could come up here anytime I wanted to. So I felt like this was just best fit for me home. Like my parents, all my family come to the game, every game that I go to. I'm not saying that being away from home was a problem, but I just felt that this was the best fit for me. And for it was one of my best offers that I had for as well as winning football games and things like that.
Absolutely, I'm sure they're out and they look like it seems like they're ecstatic to have you, man, especially after last year. But looking at your
hmm
game, man, I know last year was your freshman year, so it hasn't been that long since you were playing in high school. But just
hmm
after 1 year, how much and how has your game evolved since your last year at Oxford to now at Jacksonville State?
I could say that my game, I done got a way lot like awareness and smarter because I know in high school I could just run around and make plays, but when you get up into the college level, you got guys that's bigger than you that can run faster. So I had to really get smarter and get awareness on the field, just looking around and playing like smart, not playing with like the physical abilities.
Absolutely, man. So it's everyone knows that that jump from high school to freshman year is the hardest jump for
hmm
any college player. What were some of your toughest learning experiences through your freshman year of college football?
My toughest experience probably was knowing that it's 5 or 6 more guys in your room that can play as well right beside you, and I just had to put my mind and get my mind right and knowing that, the workouts and things were way easier. I mean, way easier in high school, and when you get to college, you get hard. So you got to work even harder, and knowing that you got guys beside you that can play anytime, so you can't have any mess ups or anything like that.
Absolutely. And so on top of that too, so I guess could you give advice to any high school players that are listening? How did you come in as a true freshman and earn your starting role and make such an impact? Like, what went into that? What was there a certain moment where you got on campus and you were like, I know I'm the best player right now at this position? Or was it just you just worked that hard? Kind of go into how you earned your starting spot as a true freshman.
I'm gonna be honest. Really, we had a transfer from South Alabama. I was out with COVID issues, and I got a text from one of the GAs, and he told me it was my time to step up and become a man. And his name was Nelson Adam, and I thank him for that. I was during COVID. I was still working out the training. I wasn't having no feeling like doing COVID, so I just put my mind down, and my head down. And I was just grinding, really knowing that because it was my time. And really to tell like anybody that's coming in as a freshman, really just be the best you that you can be and grind hard and listen to your coaches and get in the playbook no matter what going on in the world. Like COVID, and then we had COVID, so I just had to put my head down and grind no matter what.
Absolutely, man. So I want to kind of look at your game, see how you view yourself on film and stuff. What do you think your biggest strengths are as a defensive lineman / outside linebacker, kind of like that edge position?
Really, my biggest, I feel that like my awareness on the field, like I feel like I can dial in the play like right now before even the ball set. I can just watching film and things like that. I can sit there and just look at a formation or how somebody set or anything, how they got their hand down, and I can just, it's just really just knowing football. I feel that that's what helping me right now.
I like it, man. And so you don't got to give away all your trade secrets. We
Yeah.
had your teammate Nicario on, and I asked him this question, and he was like, I can't tell you too much, but what is one thing you think you need to work on to improve your game?
Really, it's a lot of things. Really, if we can just sit here and watch film right now, it's a ton of things. Right now, really, my weight, I'm like 255. Last year I played at like 267, 268. And right now, I think that's the best trait right now. Losing weight. I got to get down so I can be able to move out on the edge because we moving to a new conference, so it's gonna be a lot of better athletes, I would say.
I like it, man. So I mean, they got you listed on the website at like 235, man. How'd you put on so much weight so fast?
I really can't tell you with COVID. I want to say it was COVID, but you really can't blame it on COVID because I was still working out and everything. But I think it was just with time caught up with me. I was still working out hard, but I think my metabolism went up. I was eating a lot. That's what happened. Yeah.
I like it, man. I like it. So you mentioned film study, and that's the key to understanding the game better. I'll always like to ask players this, and I know a lot of fans are interested in this. How much film study do you do the week before a game?
And when we get in meetings, we watch film a lot. But after on my app, I got a phone on my app. I can sit there and I go through and I watch all the pass sets and who I'll be going against, like the tight ends and the running backs, and just watch who'll be my best chance. But I mean, like Nicario said, can't give a little too much. But yeah, I don't really care because that's just something a football player should do is watch film and break film down. So yeah, I just sit there and I study a lot, pretty much. Yeah.
Hey, that's why y'all made such a strong run in the playoffs this year. Everyone on this roster seems tuned in. So I know you study the offensive tackle. I know you got to look at the entire offense as a whole. What are some of the biggest things you look for when like you turn the film on for an offense? What's like the first 2 or 3 things you're like, I got to figure out what they do here, here, and here?
I look at formations, because it's a lot of OCs that was in the conference last year. They'll just line up it'll be one thing they'll run the ball out of, and they'll stick to it, whatever working for them in the time and the moment. So that next game they're gonna do the same thing. So really, just watching how they mix up and what they're doing, and really, I can't. Yeah.
I understand. I like to watch film, so I just like to kind of see how you guys are doing it. But this is, we had your teammate, like I said, he gave us his team goals, what he thought it was. He was like, I look at myself as a leader. You're one of the leaders now, man. You're not a freshman anymore. Everyone's going to be looking up to you as that second-year guy. What do you think are some of the team goals for Jacksonville State this season?
Team goals. Right now we really haven't set too many team goals, but I would say that we need to learn how to finish and everybody get on the same page. And we just got to learn how to finish no matter what, who's out, who's down. And then we got to get a little bit more depth without everybody getting hurt. And once we get everybody healthy, like that's the team goal. Really, that's the number one team goal I think right now for us is being healthy. If we're healthy, we're the best team in the country.
Oh, I like it. I like it. And so I was told that Jacksonville State, you guys are coming for that championship this year. That deep playoff run was just the beginning for you. I know you've only been there 1 year, but you were part of this team that made, I believe it was like one of the deepest playoff runs in Jacksonville State history. What do you think are the keys for y'all this year to make a deep run in the playoffs?
One of the keys right now, taking the game like one game at a time, and really right now we got to get through summer workouts and everybody got to make it out healthy. That's number one goal. Because last year we got a little bit, down in depth with like everybody being hurt. But number one goal is coming out healthy and everybody, striving to be the best and not settling for nothing less.
I like it, man. So I know it's team first. That's why I always ask about the team goals first. But what are your personal goals, man? You're coming off an All-American season as a freshman. You were one of the top defensive players in the OVC and the FCS. But how do you like? What do you want to do in your sophomore year to top that?
I'm gonna tell the truth. I haven't set any goals for myself. And like last year, I was just playing as it go because like I got to pop up on Twitter that I made freshman All American. Obviously, Twitter had to tell me. I really wasn't paying no attention to it until I was getting the tags to it. But I really don't set myself any goals because as long as the team goes, as long as we hit the team goals, that means everybody else doing well. So that means that my goals accomplishment gonna come with whatever we do as a team.
I like it, man. I like it. So I know the first game is the most important, but when you look at the schedule, you're in a new conference. You got Florida State, UAB, and a big in-state game. I think it's week 1 and week 2. Which game on the schedule are you looking forward to the most, though?
UAB week 1, one game at a time. One game at a time.
I like
and,
it.
Yeah.
I like it. So I know as a freshman, one of the big things is you got that kind of like big brother fit. Like there's always someone who kind of takes you under your wing at your position on the defense somewhere. Who is your biggest influence and or just kind of mentor on the defensive side of the ball?
Really, we had a lot, and really DJ Coleman, Taj Stewart, both of them guys, they both helped me. They took me in. Most time you have people that don't want to give you any advice, that don't want to tell you, but DJ Coleman, Taj Stewart, and Marquise Troutman, they took me in like a brother, a little brother to them. So really, they helped me a lot in becoming the best I could be.
I like it. And so how hard was it as a freshman to prepare for a spring season? I mean, because you're thinking you're going to play in the fall, COVID hits, everything gets wiped away. You guys probably don't even know if you're going to play. They end up having this spring season. Was it hard to prepare for that? And how did you kind of keep yourself in the mindset of, listen, we can get that phone call tomorrow and I got to be ready to go out on the field and play? How hard was it as a freshman to deal with this COVID season?
Really, I can't say too much about that because, like you said, I was a freshman. That was my first time ever playing, so it was like I didn't know what to expect. So the first time like that was my expectation. Like we can be like not playing this week, or we can be playing. So now that I know we're coming into this fall season, that I know we're going to play. I felt great about last season for real. I think we went through it as a breeze. We didn't have too many COVID issues.
I like it, man. So I want to get to you. I want to get to like some personal things and what influences you. So, which NFL defensive lineman, outside linebacker, do you model your game after the most?
Most people might not know too much about Jannard Avery from Memphis. I was watching him when I got moved to outside linebacker because in high school I played nose guard, so I was just watching anybody for real that plays D line. But Jannard Avery and James Harrison, they both are undersized guys, so I just really watched them. James Harrison the most, and really I ain't gonna lie, I watch a lot of other like cornerback, safety. I just watch a whole bunch of people just to see how they go through their training, and Aaron Donald, and I just go through and watch how they do that, how they take off the stance, start all that. Because, I mean, you can be a one-position guy, but I feel like if you watch it, if you learn the whole football field, it'll help you better at your position. So you can be a better
Absolutely.
athlete. That's how I feel about it. Yes, sir.
No, like it. So, you mentioned Aaron Donald. I feel like every defensive lineman is like, I got to watch a little bit of the best defensive lineman maybe to
Mm-hmm.
ever play. Do you do any hand training like he does? So I know maybe not with the knives. That's kind of
No,
outrageous that he trains with
no.
knives like that. But do you do any like boxing or anything like that to kind of get your hand movement and hand placement on point?
No, sir. I mean, I go to like I got a trainer, Marquise Elson, Coach Green. I really go to them. They help me a lot with just running, help me get quick twitch and all that. But I really I don't do too much like boxing and all the other stuff. Nah. Straight football,
Yeah.
for real, for real.
he said I
Yeah,
don't want a whole nother sport to on
nah,
top of
nah.
everything. But man, so you got it's third down, it's in a tight game, man. What is your go-to / favorite pass rush move?
It depends on who I'm playing against, and
Oh,
it depends. If I got a quick set, and it just depends. It depends. It depends. It depends.
I'll rephrase it. So when you watch an offensive lineman come off the ball, I got a backup question. I always got backup questions.
Uh,
When you see an offensive lineman come off the ball, what is the worst thing he could do? Is it a bad first step? Is it to stand straight up? Like if you see an offensive lineman do this thing, you're like, oh, that's a sack, or I'm going right past you.
if he overset me, if he set a little too deep, but give the inside open. Don't know offensive line want to get the inside open or the inside gap to them. So if he get the inside up, I know I got him right now.
I like it. So,
Yeah,
hey, don't give Jaylen Swain that inside route. Your quarterback is
yeah,
not going to be happy with you that
nah.
play. So, there's been like this classification. I know everyone can do both, but some people have a preference. Would you consider yourself a physical bull rush type pass rusher or a more finesse pass rusher?
Right now I don't really have too much of a game. I play just straight off of athleticism, I would say, because that was my first year ever being off the edge, and I was normally playing in the inside, really just straight power to speed. But now I feel like right now I'm going straight to speed. Last year I really didn't have a game, I would say, but last year was pretty much straight power.
Oh, I like it, man. So I know they're both important. I know that's gonna be your first instinct. But what's more important to a defensive lineman, man? Hands or feet?
Really, I'll say hands, hands.
I like it. And so these last two men are just kind of about your career. Easy questions. Who's the best offensive lineman that you've ever faced in a game?
In the game, um, I ain't giving nobody credit on that. I ain't gonna say. I ain't
he
gonna
said
say.
y'all all. He said y'all all
Yeah.
suck. Y'all all worse than him. He's taking y'all for a ride on Saturdays. Y'all already
Yeah.
know how it is. And last question here, man. What's the biggest game you've ever played in?
The biggest game I ever played in. I would say I got two. My senior state championship heart was racing, and Florida State game freshman year coming in playing against Florida State. My coach told me I was gonna have to play. My heart was beating. I was scared. And I'm gonna go with the state championship game though, because I know that's what everybody want to be in the state championship game, and finishing coming out. That was probably the biggest game ever.
Oh man, I like it, but man, I appreciate you coming on here, man. I mean, this second Jacksonville State guy we've had on here. Y'all's mindset is bar none, and I am so ready to see y'all go out there and win the ASUN this year. Go
Yeah,
smack some people around the FCS playoffs. But
yes,
man,
sir.
this is your time. Where can they find you on social media? Any shout outs, anything you want to say, man, this is your time.
On Instagram, y'all can find me at Jaylen underscore Swain, Jaylen underscore SWAIN. And on Twitter, Rock Swain 02, ROCK SWAIN 02. And really, I ain't got Facebook right now. So, yeah. And y'all can add me on Snapchat too, JRock1067. And shout out
Ah
TTW.
man. I love it, man. I love it, guys. Make sure to go follow Jaylen. I promise you, you're going to want to follow Jacksonville State football, man. They're proud to have one of their biggest years in school history, man. So make sure to check out Jaylen. I'm expecting you to be on that FCS All American list next year, man. Make a run for that Buchanan Award. So we'll have you back on, man, when you got
Yes,
all
sir.
the
Thanks for having
accolades.
me. Yes, sir. Thanks for having
Absolutely.
me. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. But guys, make sure to go check out Jaylen. Y'all know where to find us. Subscribe now on YouTube. But for Jaylen, myself, and the Blue Bloods guys, we are out.
All right. Thank you.